Grand Rising or Grand Afternoon for the East Coast. My name is Dr. Lynn Dunn. I am a doctor in metaphysics with the Anew practice. And if you follow me or are a friend of mine, you know what this is. This is Wipeout Wednesdays. What is Wipeout Wednesdays? Wipeout Wednesdays are I work with the Anew practice. I'm a practitioner with the Anew practice, and I come on Wednesdays, but we have someone, a practitioner or ambassador, that comes on each day, Monday through Friday, between the time I would say about 11, 12 o'clock. And hey, Miss Regina, and we share, and so my share is when are on Wednesdays, and they're called Wipeout Wednesdays. What is Wipeout Wednesdays? Wipeout Wednesdays are, hey Lavelle, I come on and I discuss something that I've discovered that no longer serves me. May have served me in the past, did a great job, but as I am doing the healing and the work, and hey sis, as I'm doing the healing and the work, there are just some things that just don't serve me anymore. And so I wipe it out. I either wipe it out, I redefine it, but it's wiped out in the sense that it no longer serves the purpose or has the connection that it had in the past. So, and then I replace it with something that works for me now. So that's what Wipeout Wednesdays are. If you're new, if you're not not new, hey. So this week's title is, Does This Work for You? And where that came from is that, so in the past, I was, I feel I've learned everything based on my environment, how I grew up and stuff like that. So for me, a lot of the things that, hey, Miss Regina, so a lot of the things that I discuss come from experiences with my mother, because she's the one who raised me. She's the one who took care of me. She was there for me. And up until the day she transitioned. So everything that I have, for the most part, when you hear me discussing things, it's usually going to come from a space of what I learned from my mom. From either just our experience together or things that I, as a child, sat and witnessed and then created, and that's what's been carrying me through. So this week's is with the Does This Work for You? While I was growing up, I watched my mom so often. She would say things to me and my sister in private. She would talk to us like we all do in our houses. We say, most people, when you're in your safe space or you're relaxed, you speak your truth. You say what is really on your mind. Hey, Uncle Mark. So from that standpoint, with my mom, I watched my mom a lot of times say things like, for example, if somebody, her boyfriend, he was the type of person that whenever you went somewhere, you always had to stop at like 4 or 5 places before you got to where you were going. Like he was like, oh, I got to stop over here, go do this with Joe Blow. Oh, I got to stop here. And we would sit in the car. Like we would sit in the car and have to wait for him. And my mom didn't really like it. She didn't like it. She was a person that if she was going here, she wanted to go from here. But because he was her boyfriend or whatever, she loved him. She allowed him a lot of times to do these pit stops to get to where we were going. And we would hear her and my sister would hear her saying how she did not like that. Like, oh my gosh, I wish you would. And then she would say, oh, we're not doing this again. Like, this is the last time, we're not doing this no more. But then came up, we'd end up doing it again. So that's what I learned. I learned to say one thing in my safe space, but then when I was out and about, I'll do something different. Say yes to the other person or do what the other person wants to do, even though in your heart you really don't want to do that. But for whatever reason, for her that she did it. So for me, what I learned and what I took on is that's what you do. Like, that's what you do. You say in your safe space what you want to say, but then when you're out and about, if somebody asks you and stuff like that. I also realized that for me, it was my abandonment issues or not feeling worthy or looking for outside validation, that a lot of times for me, as I grew up, I would do the same thing. I would say yes or okay, or when in my heart I really didn't want to. Sometimes, not because I didn't love the person, not because I didn't care for the person, none of that, but just sometimes I just didn't want to do it, but I was afraid to say no. And you know, I talked about that last week about honoring my no as much as my yes. So this week an experience happened where I got to see my growth in my words of saying, yeah, I'm going to honor my no just as much as I honor my yes. And so it came into the place of, I am currently, as I'm working to transition into really doing what I love 100%, I've declared that, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So and I've also been speaking into myself, you know, I am peace, I am harmony, I am love. I serve from my overflow. And what's another, and harmony, and those types of things. And so I'm realizing now that I'm watching like my words coming into play, where those things that aren't that are being removed. So this is my wipeout. So I occasionally I babysit some of my son's friends' kids. And I do it when I'm learning, like I said, because in the past I would have been like, yes, 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 because I was taking on the belief like, if I say no, who's going to do it for them? Well, I'm learning that they are grown, they can figure it out, and they'll be okay. And it doesn't mean you don't love them on the times that you can't do it. In the past, I would change my schedule around to fit what they were doing. And I was taking a stance of, does this work for you? Meaning, does it work for them? Totally forgetting about, does it work for me? And as I'm learning, that's shifting. And I'm saying to myself, no, you ask that question to yourself first. Does it work for you? And if it works for you, then move forward. So I was presented with that. Hey, Dr. Tiff. And that's what happened. So yesterday or the day before, about 2-3 days ago, the wife asked me, she said, can you watch the kids for me? She said, just from 1 to 4. And then I'll be there. I said, well, I do have another obligation after 4 o'clock. So as long as you can be here by 4, then we're good. Hey, Gwen, we're good. So she said, I sure can. So sure enough, she did. She kept her word like she always does. And at 4 o'clock, before actually 4 o'clock, she was here and she picked the kids up and I was able to do what I needed to do. Still holding on to my freedom, which is what I have asked for into my life. And what I've said, I'm going to have freedom in my life to do what I want, when I want. So when they left, I said to my sons, I said, see, I like this. This is an example of my freedom. I was available. It was okay. I spoke my truth and said, you need to be here by a certain time. She was here. Great. And I was just really priding myself because in the past, I wouldn't have put stipulations on, you need to be this time. I would have started trying to, does it work for them, instead of me trying to move around what I had to do at the 4. If they didn't come or say, well, I'm not going to say anything and just let them be. No, I let them know. And she obligated what I said. So I'm like, this is good. This is great. I went across the street to my neighbor and we were talking. And I said again to her, I said, yeah, I said, yeah, I watched my little babies today, and they're 5 months and almost a 3-year-old, and they're boys. So, they're busy. Not the baby, not the 5-month-old, but the 3-year-old, almost 3-year-old. He's busy, and that's fine too. Because I have my youngest son is still out on summer break. So he helps me out. And then my oldest son too, he'll chime in and play with him for a little bit before he has to go to work. So it all worked out. And I said, I like that. And so this morning I woke up and I got a text, and she was asking if I could watch them on Mondays and Fridays from 4 to 7. Now, that's outside of what I'm available for, because I have things that I've obligated myself to after 4, on any day. And so I was met with that challenge of, does this work for you? And I decided, I said, I'm wiping out the does it work for me only meaning for someone else. Does it work for you, Lynn? And after I evaluated, I said, no, it doesn't work for me, because I just said it yesterday, that when I was relaxed and speaking in my truth, I said what times I was available for, and it's nothing after 4 o'clock. But what I'm excited about and happy about, and I know that I wiped it out and I replaced it with using, does this work for you? Meaning, does it work for you first, Lynn? And then obligate yourself to see if it works for the other person. And so that's what I did. So I told her, I said, no, unfortunately, I can't. I have other things that I'm obligated to. And she said, okay, thanks. And that's fine. And it was such a wonderful feeling, because it was so different from what I'm used to, because I'm usually in fear of, if I say no, if I don't do what they need me to do, then that means they're going to think I don't love them. They don't think I don't care. They don't think that. And it's none of that. It's none of that. That was me. That was my feelings. And all of that was based on things that I created based on what I saw my mom doing. I saw my mom when she was in her safe space, she told the truth, like how she really was feeling. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing it. But I watched her, when someone would ask about that thing she said she didn't want to do, she'd say, yeah. And she'd do it, but she really didn't want to do it. And so I picked that up, and I saw myself, I know I was doing it, but I realized that in my quest, or in my declaration of saying, I want peace, I want love, I want joy, I want true balance, is that's why that had to happen. That's why it happened the way it did happen, to show me that, yes, you can have, in order for you to have your true peace, your true happiness, you have to incorporate, does this work for you, to mean not does it work for just the other person, but does it work for you, Lynn? Is this working for you? Yeah, I just saw, my sister said I needed to hear this, and that's me. Yeah, I know it's you, because it's me too. Hey, Randolph. Yeah, I really am wiping that out. And I know it's being wiped out because I saw myself standing in a different position. If my kids, my sons, not kids, but my sons, if they ever decided to come on with me on a Wipeout Wednesday, they would tell you that, yeah, my mom did that all the time. She would say things to us like, I'm really tired. I really don't feel like doing that. I'm just going to stay home, or I'm just going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. And the minute the person would call me, I go, yes, okay, I do. And they're sitting there looking like, I thought you just said you didn't want. And I didn't even realize I was doing it to the extent, because I used to do the same thing with my mom. I used to look at her and go, but you said you wasn't. but I didn't say it. I dare not say that to her. But and my kids up until 6 months ago, they didn't either. They didn't say, I thought you said you weren't. But now, like I said, through the healing that I've done with the new practice, I've learned that it's okay. It's okay, one, for me to say no. It's okay for me to say yes. Neither one holds a stronger hold over me. I have the choice at any given time. I have the choice to change my mind. And I also have the choice of, it's okay for my children to tell me what they really feel without them feeling like they're going to hurt my feelings or they're going to get punished for saying what they truly feel. So it's really good. And I'm really like excited about this, me taking on this new meaning of, does this work for you? So I normally stay on no more than 30 minutes, but I'll do a recap. And if this resonates with you, share it. Share it with someone. Share it with someone that may be feeling the same thing and not realizing that they're putting themselves last when does this work for you only means does it work for the other person and not yourself. So share. I see Dr. Chip said, I have definitely done that. I am working on being more selfish with my time and my energy to make sure I'm honoring me first. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, that's what it is for me, Dr. Chip. I don't know if you heard the beginning, but that's what happened. My mom would do that all the time. Like, I watched her so many times where she was tired or she just didn't feel like doing certain things. But I saw it a lot with her doing it with her boyfriend, where he would say, I need this, I want that, and she like, okay. And she just do it, even though we were watching her. We knew her truth because she had spoken her truth to us. And in the same token, I started doing it. I was doing it myself. And I can't speak for my mom per se as to why she was doing it. But I know for me, I was doing it for fear of somebody rejecting me, somebody being upset with me, somebody feeling like I let them down. And I'm realizing that as I've been doing this work with the new practice and healing, that I'm declaring that I'm first. Like, I am first in my life. It doesn't mean I'm first in my kid's life or any other person, anybody other person. What is that? Any other person's life. Mine. And they should be doing the same for them. They should be first in their lives. So it's not hurting. I can do more because now I'm doing things that I truly love. And that's what I said. I want to do things that I truly love. Now, that doesn't mean I don't love those babies. That doesn't mean that I don't love their mom and dad. But I got to love me first, filling my tank and serving from my overflow. I already had obligations. But in the past, I would have switched around, moved around my stuff, trying to accommodate someone else, wondering and making sure that, does this work for you? And not working for me, like not honoring me. So no longer doing that. I'm honoring me first. Ashley said, yes, be selfish with your time. Hey, yeah. yes. And make sure you're doing the same too, because that's what it's about. I'm learning that that's what it's about. I was taught that it was selfish to put yourself first, but I'm learning, no, I had it backwards. I had it so backwards. And I'm not saying that because that's my truth, that it has to be your truth. Whatever your truth is, that's your truth. And it's valid and fine just as well. But for me, yeah, I'm wiping that out. I'm wiping out the belief that, does this work for you means I'm asking the person and trying to make sure it works for them and not working for me. No. Me first, for me, you first for you. And if we connect and align, then boom, then we'll do what we need to do together. If not, then that's fine too. I still love you and I hope you still love me. But if you don't, that just means you weren't meant to be in my circle. I'm cool with that too. Or I'm not meant to be in yours. So it's all still good. Dr. Tiff says, my mom does it and my grandmother did it. So it's definitely learned behavior. Yes, yes. Like I said, I know for sure, I saw it in my mom. Because that's who raised me. And so I saw it in her. I'm not sure if my dad did. I'm not. But I know for sure my mom did. I know for sure my mom did. And it's just so programming that I learned that I was taught put others first. Like that's the godly thing to do. But as I've done this healing and this work, I know, me first. Like I said, I think I've said before on one before where they say, when you're on the plane, they tell you that put your mask on first before you put it on somebody else. But we always try to do the opposite when it comes to life. Not we, me. I was putting on everybody else's mask and then kind of hoping somebody would give me some air. No, I'm putting mine on first and then I'll help whoever I can help. And that doesn't mean I got to help everybody on the plane. Just those who I'm called to help put theirs on. Same for me. So yeah, that's what it is. Miss Regina said, awesome reminder, Dr. Lynn. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I love it. I love doing this. I love this. It's what I love to do. And I'm so happy and honored that I am now allowing myself to do something that I truly, truly love. I really love this. Gwen said, good for you. My truth is be polite and saying what's good for me at the time. Yes. Yeah. It's amazing. It's such an amazing feeling. And so if you are interested or you're going, yeah, I want to feel some more of that too, there's a place. At least a place. Like I said, I work from a space of, I'm not going to tell you about something that I haven't done myself. Or if I haven't done it myself, but I'm interested, I'm going to tell you that too. I'm going to say, well, this sounds good, but I haven't done it myself. Well, for me, the new practice, I've done it. And so I would recommend that if you're looking for a space where you're like, yeah, I want to make some changes and I want to get to the root of why I keep doing stuff and why things aren't changing. Like I'm asking for things, they're not coming. Like what's going on? Hit up the A New Practice. You can go to www. A New Practice, Anu is spelled ANU.com, or you can go on www.doctanu.com and check out some of the classes we hold. We have each day, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time around 11 o'clock a.m. We do self-talk. And we come on and we speak to ourselves the things that we need to hear from ourselves. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, I'm doing this live every Wednesday because of my self-talk, because me going in and doing the work with the different classes with the A New Practice. So I'm always going to support the A New Practice. I'm always going to roll with the A New Practice. So you will always hear me say that. And then we also have what I'm doing. The practitioners, the ambassador, we've all taken a day, Monday through Friday around, I'm going to say 12 o'clock now, because for me, I like to do self-talk and it's at 11. So whenever self-talk ends, then I come on Wednesdays. But on Mondays, we have Dr. Wendy Wynn. She does self-care, self-beauty, self-love. She gets the week started. She gets you pumped and ready. And then on Tuesdays, we have Ambassador Mary. She does cards. And then on Wednesdays, it's me, Wipeout Wednesdays. And it's exactly what I just did. So if you're just chiming in, listen back on the replay so you'll get the whole story. But basically, it's I come in, I share something that no longer serves me, or I've discovered something that no longer serves me, and I wipe it out. I either wipe it out, I reframe it, and then I replace it with something else. On Thursdays, we have our wonderful mentor, Dr. Anu, who started all of this. And she's what I call our wild card. And she's the wild card because you never know what she's going to come with, but it's going to be something good. And it's going to have you going like, whoa. And then we have Dr. Tiff. She does Feel Good Fridays. And she comes in and she speaks her truth, and she will share with you something that she has become aware of, and she walks you through how she got out of it and how she feels just amazing from doing that walkthrough. And then so you leave on Fridays with feeling good, and then boop, we pop back on Monday and we start it all over again. So yeah, that's what it is. It's Wednesday. It's Wipeout Wednesday. It's the last day of July. And so that's what I said. I said, share it. Share in the comments, even if you are listening to the replay, because I do go back and look and I'll respond and answer. Before I forget, I am, like I said in the beginning, I am a doctor of metaphysics. I earned that with the Anu practice. And I am a life coach. So if you are looking for someone to help you do your walkthrough through questions and things, then hit me up. And I would love to work with you. If not, if I don't resonate with you, still go on to the page. What's the page? www.doctanu.com or www.theanupractice.com. And there are tons of other life coaches that are amazing. And just look and see who resonates with you and get with them. Because like I said, I love doing this. I love sharing when I've discovered things that have been blocking me and making the declaration to remove them. So if you're in that space and you're going, yeah, then do it. I also would suggest just following on Facebook. On Facebook, you can follow Create a New ANU Life, and you'll be able to see self-talk. Self-talk is at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check that out. But I'm not going to stay on any longer. Like I said, if you are watching the replay, leave a message, share the video. If you think this is something that someone else needs to hear, someone else who has taken, does this work for you to mean only for the other person and not yourself? And that's what it was for me. So I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, weekend, and I will be back next Wednesday again around 12 Eastern Standard Time with another Wipeout Wednesday. Take care. I love you and talk to you soon. Bye.